Welcome to another video. This is going to be more of a stream of consciousness and hopefully a little bit shorter of a video, but in this video I wanted to cover why typing is kind of like cubing. So if you don't know, I have made a couple videos about keyboards and stuff, but I've recently really gotten into keyboards and I got and set up a nice mechanical keyboard that I really like using, and I got blank keycaps for it, and I really like it. Anyway, if you don't know, I'm an engineering student and I'll be a software developer when I graduate, so I need to be able to type quickly, and I type a lot. I've sort of had these thoughts and opinions, I guess, for a while now, but Cubics recently made a video about look ahead in typing and how it's similar to cubing, and I kind of wanted to touch on that. So firstly, I did a poll a few days ago basically saying how fast do you guys type, and the average seems to be around 30 to 60, where there are around 35% of people above the 60 words per minute range, which is really interesting because if you look at the average, I'm not sure how they gather this data, but the average for all people seems to be around 40 to 60 words per minute, and then there are much fewer people who can type faster than that. So obviously this poll is a little bit skewed, and I have a few theories as to why that is. My first theory is that one of the most important parts of cubing is how fast you can turn. Obviously, it's also important to be efficient, but if you can turn fast, you're obviously able to do more moves faster, which in turn can make you faster, especially if you're efficient. Similarly, in typing, you have to be able to move your fingers quickly and accurately in order to hit the correct keys. Another sort of analogy I wanted to kind of bring up is I think that memorizing algorithms in cubing is kind of like knowing how to type specific words when you're typing. So for example, when you're learning Soon, you go, okay, so it's RU, R prime, U, RU to R prime, right? You memorize it like move by move. And then for example, when you're typing, if you're typing the word if, you're like, okay, I need to do right hand middle finger and then left hand index finger. But as you learn Soon, instead of going move by move, you just see the alg and you do the entire algorithm. Similarly in typing, if you see the word if, or you want to type the word if, it doesn't become two separate movements. It becomes a series of finger movements that sort of achieve one thing in the end. And a little bit elaboration on that, being able to type without looking at where the letters are, which I kind of forced myself to do by getting blank keycaps, I believe is sort of similar to not having to think about an algorithm before you execute it. So building off of the Soon example, instead of seeing a Soon, recognizing a Soon, thinking, oh, I need to do a Soon, and then executing the Soon, it's seeing the OLL and then doing the Soon. Kind of, I don't know if this video really makes any sense. Another thing I think is similar between cubing and typing is look ahead. So it's more clear in cubing because the more you can look ahead, the more you can plan, and the more you can eliminate pauses and essentially make your solve more efficient. In typing, this manifests as either when you're writing, be able to think about the next thing that you want to write, or in a lot of typing tests, it's really valuable to read the next group of words as you're typing your current word, which in cubing is similar to thinking about the next pair you're going to do as you're doing this current F2L pair, for example. One other small side comment is that typing is a valuable life skill. Cubing is more of a fun hobby. There are no real practical applications, I suppose, but a lot more people type, I guess, is the purpose of that observation. A few theories I have as to why cubers perhaps type faster than the average person. Firstly, there's always the fact that people may lie on surveys. I don't really know how this data from these surveys online was gathered, although my subscriber base is most likely cubers who are voting, so it's skewed toward the faster side. One reason might just be that my audience tends to be younger, and the younger generation has had more time with computers, with social media, and a lot of messaging services, especially now where it's difficult to communicate in person and a lot of people don't like making phone calls. The best way to communicate with someone is through text, and that involves a lot of typing, especially if you're communicating with someone a lot. So that sort of forced practice makes people better and faster at typing, and I think young people are able to take more advantage of having to type more, so they get better typing. Another reason is I think that a lot of cubers tend to go into industries that require a lot of typing or a lot of finger dexterity. For example, I know a lot of cubers who are musicians, and for most instruments you have to have a lot of finger dexterity. And I also know a lot of cubers who are in engineering, where, for example, if you're a software engineer, all your code you have to type it out, so that requires practice, and the faster you can type, the more easy it is for you to get the ideas in your head onto a computer screen. And just lastly, a lot of cubers, to be good at cubing, you do have to have good finger dexterity, and I think this really translates over to typing. I'm not really quite sure if I have a conclusion for this video. I just had thoughts about this topic and wanted to make a quick video about it. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next week.